Hello, welcome to this course where you learn how to use prompting strategy to develop a React JS application. Today's class, we're looking at layout prompt essentials. First, I will discuss the component that we'll be developing, and I will mention the layout essentials and also go to detail on what we are developing today in terms of the prompts that will be used, and also demo the implementation. Feel free to go back and forth to make sure you understand each section. This is what we'll be developing. Is part of what we had before, which is function prompt essentials. On the left side is we have the list of the essentials in the form that will be filled up. And on the right side is where the prompt will show. We have the bottom actions, generate, copy, and clear. So what is the layout? Layout is the arrangement and positioning of various elements on a web page. And an effective web page should have a balance between aesthetic, usability, and functionality to create a seamless, user-friendly page. Here are some of the reasons where we do layout in visual appealing, to make it visually appealing, and also user-friendly, to make it content hierarchy, to give attention to what is really priority, and also to arrange and make it coherent, and also to make it responsive to different devices and screen sizes. There are 4 basic layout techniques: the CSS framework, the CSS fluid property, CSS grid, and CSS flexbox. CSS flexbox is the latest, and that's what we're going to be using in this lecture. When you're thinking of a CSS flexbox, you have 3 concepts: the container, which is like the parent div; the item is the direct child of the content of the container, and also the item can also be a container for another item when you are nexting them together. And the responsiveness, you are going to be using ArtMedia, which is common CSS that has been launched a long time ago. And these are the properties when you are to prompt, when you have to write the prompt, you want to use this property to specify to ChatGPT what it needs to set. And other things that I found very useful is to indicate that you're doing HTML, CSS, try to state the item number, try to state section as well as their section name, border, and height, which we see as we go ahead with during the demo. So what is the plan, the structure that one needs to bear in mind? For the layout, you can simply block it out this way to kind of simplify the layout itself. We have the title up there, then we have the essential item, the display component, then you have the action. So this is the layout for the main page. And the prompt that we'll be using, we divide them into 3 sections. So that's why in our prompting, we say there are 3 sections. We talk about the names of the sections. So ChatGPT have those in mind. And each section then has their own prompts. So for the title, we want to say it has 2 items that are arranged in rows and they are in ratio 1:1, as well as you can even call it ratio 1. Ratio 1:1 is fine. You have flex width, that they should cover the whole space. And for the content, similar to the content also, and the action is just one basic item, and it should cover the whole space. And also, let's talk about each of the components one by one. The action component, we talk about the main component, the essentials, the display component, as well as the action and title component. For the style for the title component, this is what we have. It's going to be one item in one of the box. It may align center and justify center. And for the display component, also a single item, just an empty box. But we want to set the height to be like 80 VH or 80%, or the width should also be 100% because it's going to cover the entire of this part. And the action, the essential component, basically the same thing, but this time it's going to have 6 items, which you can set and everything justify. And the action body, now going detail, is going to be 3 items and going to have these ratios. and the space around them. So let's go straight to our demo. In our previous class, we left off on this is where we left off. This is our landing page. We still come back to it to do that, but now we want to develop other components. So what I would do is to kind of make this look clear now. Take this out for now. Take the landing page out, and also have the other navbar and stuff hidden away. And I will just develop each component separately. So let me start with the title component. So we have the title, the JS. So to get that done, I'll just ask ChatGPT to make title component for me. Create title component. So ChatGPT has some intelligence around it to kind of do the title component. It's even putting the style, or it's taking off afresh. Let's start afresh. I can simply go back and just say, just is taking what I've done before. So let me go back and take that part away. Let me start a new chart entirely. So that's what I would just say. Create a ReactJS component. Title. So I think that's gonna make it start a fresh stuff. So it's saying this is the title. Where's the title itself? This is the title component. So I'm just gonna copy that and paste it in here. So let me import that into our page and see what it looks like. So here, just change this to title. I import it, save it, and I can save the rest of the file. Then we can go to React itself. We have nothing showing up in here. So now what we have in our title, nothing actually showing up. Is expecting a text. So let's give it that text. Okay. So we say text equals to. So then we have the title. So it's working. So the next thing we want to add the styling to it. So, and what is our prompt for title? How does it look like? So title prompts look this way. I'm gonna copy that and paste it right there. Walk through it. So we say it's a flex box, 100 width, content, align, and one single item in it. So just press enter like that. So it's generating that. Has this, so it says body and stuff, container flex. So let me just copy the CSS because I just want to have that. So for my title, I'm going to create a CSS for it. So new file, title.css. And also, I will just extract the div from here so as to have this class name right here. So instead of returning this, I will just say return this, and I can put my text in here. I can as well say it should, then I should not forget to import my CSS. So let me save, let's see how it looks like right now. So everything is like this, just centralized, which is okay. Although we say the width should be 100, but it's not really putting that right now. Let me look at that. we want the title width to be 100%. So it has it, but it's not really putting it there. Maybe because of the background. Where's the background? The background color is here. So let's put the background color up here. So we can see that 100% width. So does it show that? Or it still show? Let's just leave it. We just come back to fix that one the other hand. I will have loved this one. We don't really need it. So take that out. Yeah. So that's what it's cost. So we have our title. That's what we want. 100%. Everything is set. So maybe as we proceed, I'll be doing just styling the React itself. So let me go to the next prompt. So the next component that we want to do is the display component. And we have the so we just say create display ReactJS component called display. So she's gonna give us something. So we want to grab the content. So we just copy this. So let me come back in here and create a new file called display.js. And I'm going to paste that into it. So let's save that and let's import that into our router. Let's just Ctrl Z. So let's copy that and paste it. So in this case, I will just kind of silence this one for now. And I'm going to have this one to be display component. It's expecting something, but let's just leave it. Let me just call this one display. What is display component expecting? Is expecting a content. So just pass content into it. So we'll call this content. All right. So let's save that and let's see what we have. So it's saying it doesn't see the CSS. So the CSS is not there. So, okay, so he's already creating, I think we're going to have a display CSS. So we have to also create that too. File display.css. So what should be in our CSS? We need to prompt it to get our CSS. Maybe you can just combine them together and just say, add CSS layout following this out here or display component. So we'll see what is going to generate for us. So this is it. This is our display, hello display. And that's what the text, the content looks like. And this is the dot display. Component style. Yeah. So this is the dot display component file. Okay, it's pretty right there. We have our CSS right now. So this is the class name. If you go back in here, you have the class name also matching that. So we're gonna save everything, save all, and let's see what that gives. So we have the display right here. So but we want the display to be height of 100 or HV. So it's not having that height for us. It's saying so we just put 80VH right here. That is what the height we want. So yeah, we have the height right now. So we have the display. That's just the adjustment we need to make for that. We have the display under 100% width and stuff like that. Let's do the same thing for the other component, which is the essential list component. So let's go back to ChatGPT. Say create essential list component. In this case, we will say that accept array of 6 items. 6 items. So let's see what it's going to give. So it's going to accept items and it's going to loop through them to display them. Cool. So we just going to copy this and have our essential list component. Does it import an CSS? It's also import CSS. So let me just say apply a CSS to this. Even have a CSS straightforward for us. Let's just copy everything. I think this thing is too smart. So you're gonna have essential list. Okay. You have the essential list. Don't want to just change it to small letter. You're gonna have essential list. Unify CSS essential list the CSS also. Have that. Let's copy that quickly, see whether it gives us what we want. If not, we're gonna try to fix that. So save all. Let's see what okay, so we have to just show it now. Let's show it, let's see whether that's what we have. So we're gonna kind of just also make another one. So then we're gonna have essential list. Let's see, do we have good stuff there? The same item undefined. So our item, you say it's going to be an array. Just put this in an array. What does it? Is the item or items? Yep, it has something showing up. It's 100% good. We want to also adjust the height also. So we can basically go to the display CSS, copy the height to be 80%. So let's go to essential CSS. Let's give it the list itself as a CSS. So, but one thing is missing right here is not having it's not showing us that it's a flex. So we want it to be a flex, just like this. Everything's basically should look the same, but except that yeah, it says this, everything looks the same. Just leave it like that, but we are having an issue. It's not really showing properly. What I would do now is, I think the background is just the issue. So let me just come back in here. We have the background color. Let's move the background color here, just as we did for that one. So now we have it. Have the display in the center. We have everything covered. It's 80%. Cool. So, and I think the next one is the action. So we also say create an action. So create action component that accepts 3 that has that display 3 buttons following. Let me just kind of put the style straight away, the layouting, following the layouting there. It should be flex. CSS layout. Yep. Just do CX. Let me put it there. So it has that. So it's creating that. It has the buttons. So does it give us our CSS? Cool. It gives us. So let's see what that become. So we copy our action, CS action component. Paste it right there. Then I need the CSS. I usually like to use small letter. The CSS. So copy that. So let's save all of it. And so we save all of it, then we want to see it. So come back in here. So let me copy this. See action. Yeah, I don't think it's expecting anything. We can check it again. Action is not expecting anything. That is good. So we can take this out. There might be some conflicts. So let's check what we have. Wow, we have it. But everything is the same size. We don't want that. But let's see if we can fix that really quickly. So we have the action.css. So it's giving everything this one. So we want to have it a little bit different. We want to have different ratio to it. So, but for now, let's leave it like that. We can come back to it. So we have everything put together. Let's now go to our main page and just get everything together. And our main page is going to be the function component. So you're going to say create function component with the following layout. Function component, function, let me call it function essential. So it's not going to be essential component that. So let's go back to our description, our prompts. Our prompt is this. I know ChatGPT has a way of thinking things through a little bit. Might take part of what we have done previously. So let's see what that gives us. So we're gonna have our function component. Let me say use CSS flex. Kind of take that away. So let's generate it. Just press enter to generate. That's what it gives us. I hope it comes to life. So it's having them set up, setting them up. Let's copy it and see what it gives to us. It also has CSS right there. Everything seems coming together. So let's copy it and put our function component. Function essential. So we have function essential.js. And paste that. So then we need function essential CSS. Function essential CSS. Let me copy that from what was generated to us. Let's paste that. I'm not expecting it to kind of look exactly perfect the way it is, but let us see what we have that's been generated for us. So we have function essential. The function essential, is he expecting anything? Don't think so. He's not expecting anything. That is cool. Let's save everything and see what we have first. So what happened? It's not showing it to us. It's something overriding it. So our browser, okay, this is overriding it. So yeah, so we have our title right here, our content here, our action here. Seems to be positioned the way it is, but let us just kind of import those things now. So let's import it in our function essential to see if things fit very well. But I'm curious because it's not taking the height that we expect them to take. So maybe I will work on that one later on. But I feel like we can clean things up a little bit. Let's just import them. So instead of having this here, we can just import our title here. Title In that case, the title is expecting a text. It's expecting a text. But I can just, let me just put the essentially function essential of the text. Give it some, just as we did before. I said set up essential list or function essential, and here we're going to do the same thing and get it here for the second title, paste it, then we say prompt display. That's the title. Let's save it, see what we have. So we have it on each hand. So there's a flex that is affecting it. So the best shot is to go into the CSS and kind of fix that. As the first thing, we are talking about the title. We're saying spacing between. We don't need that. Say flex, then okay, let's save that. So space, everything is kind of matched together right now. We want them to be 100% width. There's no, this is a section, every section has that. This is the background, and this is the stuff. So I'm going to look at the fix to kind of. Also, the issue with this is that we have something that has to do with just not using the div that we have here. So if you take out the div, you just put the title itself, everything should look the way you want. So everything is there. We have both of them aligned. So the next thing is we want to do the same thing with the content. So the first part is our essential list. So let's just do essential list. Essential list. So, and I think that needs an array of stuff. So we had it in our router before where we have this one kind of down there. So we're just gonna do the same thing here. And we can do the same thing for this one too. For the display, copy the same. We come in here and get it set up like that. So just replace the div. So however, we need to import it. So that's what we got. Yep, it comes in pretty well. This one asset, and our action is also coming into place. So let's just grab our action too. There's the action. There's the action. Let's see what the action shows like. So just replace everything here. Ready? So boom. By saying we need to import it. So of course we need to import it. Yeah, and I think these buttons are like this. They didn't really show as we expected. And I think that has to be fixed later on. So pretty well, we have our page layout using ChatGPT prompt. Things need to be cleaned up a little bit, which we will deal with as we move on. So thank you for today. I don't expect it to be as this long, but that's what it is. So in the next slide, we'll be looking at the component, although we have already touched base with the component. We'll be looking at it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any question, put it in the comment. Thank you. Bye-bye for now.